In front, Landrum, Pat, Conrad, and Molly. So glad you're with us. Doug Bell, our friend, is going to be joining us as we preview the PGA Championship from Newtown Square, Pennsylvania, the site of the PGA Championship. Always fun visiting with Doug, and it's always fun to learn about a great new place owned by Alabamians that serves a great breakfast. If you're looking for something different, you're tired of going to the same olds, right? You just keep going back to that place. Maybe you bring breakfast to maybe it's your Bible study group, or they're at work, or you're responsible for it, or you just want to go and grab breakfast. How about a great local place that does it, and it's Crafts? It's the all-new location right there on Highway 280 in Mountain Brook. It's near the Hollywood Boulevard exit, but they got the drive-through option available as well, 6:30 in the morning to 10:30, and you can get everything from a breakfast sandwich. You want to go with a chicken, egg, and cheese burrito, you can do that. You want to go with a plate, all kinds of different options, everything made from scratch in-house. It's Crafts for Breakfast. Crafts for Breakfast, the drive-thru on 280. You can go in and dine and eat breakfast, 7th Avenue South downtown. Don't forget about the Crestline Village location as well. craftsbhm.com for more information.
All right, so let's go to the western suburbs of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Joined by a good friend of the program, Doug Bell, PGA Tour Radio. You can also watch his work there at CBS Sports HQ. Doug, happy major PGA week. How are you?
Hi, guys. I'm doing great. It's funny. I'm in Philadelphia, and I love this city, by the way. Great sports town. And I harken back. Listen, I'm an old guy, but it was 1988, guys, and I was here. Alabama opens the season.
Temple.
Temple.
Yes.
Yes. Remember that?
That was Bruce Arians. Was he not the head coach of Temple? Is that right?
He was.
That's
right. And
right.
we had to find that little practice field. Temple's right in the middle of the city. And I'd never met Bruce Arians, but what a gregarious guy he was. And Alabama, it was kind of a sloppy game. I think John Forney, that was his return to the radio booth.
I think you're right.
Yep. Yeah, so that brings back great memories. Of course, listen, when you're old, you reminisce. Sorry I had to do that.
It
kind of struck me.
No.
Those are our favorite shows when people reminisce.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. So I was reading this, getting ready for the PGA Championship this week, and this is first off, I was watching an aerial, I guess it was a drone, like hole by hole. That course is stunning, absolutely stunning. And I understand that it used to be a dairy farm back in the early 1900s, and they cleared all the trees out and they started making this incredible golf course. But is this the right number? Is there 179 or 76 bunkers on this course, which is the most that the PGA is going the players are going to face this year?
What do they call them, Doug? Cluster bunkers? Is that it?
Yeah, they do. I think it's 179.
79.
And it
okay.
is, visually, it's exquisite. I mean, it's just, listen, I see these golf courses all the time, and they're all beautiful, right? But there's certain ones that you walk on the property, and it's kind of like, oh, my gosh. I mean, this is like golf heaven. And this is one of those. It's absolutely gorgeous. They played here in 2018, the PGA Tour, and since then they've taken out a slew of trees. They've opened up the property. It used to be more tree-lined, and that's what modern golf guys are doing. Gil Hansen, those guys do now. They take out the trees so they can grow grass, et cetera. I think it's made it easier for the players, although they tore it up in 2018. But from a beauty standpoint, guys, you'll see it on television. It just doesn't get any better. It's absolutely gorgeous. And the weather forecast is going to be sunny, so it really will be stunning for almost the entire week.
I've kind of become a turf nerd, so to speak. When I was learning about Augusta National and the ryegrass that goes over the Bermuda and the whole process, do we know what are we dealing with? Are we going Bermuda? Is this a rye? Is this a Kentucky bluegrass? Just because of the geography, where are we on that?
Well, the greens are going to be bent grass, which you have up in the Northeast, some of the courses, Shoal Creek and others, still have bent grass. Augusta National has bent grass. It's the best putting surface. But up here in the Northeast, it just flourishes because of the temperature. I mean, it's still cool at night, guys, and the bent grass it's so perky, and you can cut it just extremely low. And that's the defense of this golf course. Rory and some of these guys who hit it a country mile, in their wide fairways, they're going to take advantage. But the greens are just so severe, so fast, and most of them slope from back to front. So if you're above the hole, you're going to have these sizzling fast, like you're putting on a carport type thing, and it's going to be fun. It really is. I just believe these guys hit it so far. I think they're going to take advantage, even with the severe greens. these are the best players in the world.
Yeah.
And when you open things up, and that's what they've taken out the trees, they've widened the fairways, and I think a guy like Rory and some of these other guys, Cam Young, who just hit it so far, I think they're going to take advantage. We'll see. Ben Griffin talked to him yesterday, guy who had a big year last year, and he said he thought 12 under would be the winning score.
Ooh.
And I don't know. I said, Ben, I think it's going to be lower. And then he told me, he said, yeah, but you're not putting on these greens like I am. I said, that's fair. That's fair. So we'll see what happens, you know.
All right. So I know this is a pedestrian question, and it becomes something that you probably answer a lot on the PGA Tour. Can Scotty go back-to-back here? Or are we about to see Rory go on a major run here in regards to the majors for this season? I mean, what's your take on Scotty and Rory this week?
Well, Pat, it's great, number one, that you had number one versus number two again. Haven't had it since the Masters.
Yeah.
Rory took 3 weeks off, and Scotty didn't play last week, so it's nice to have one versus two. But to answer that question, and here's the deal. If Scotty plays like Scotty can play, there's nobody that's even comparable to him, even Rory. He's that much better than everybody else statistically. And you know, we haven't seen that Scotty yet. He did win at the beginning of the year. He's had 3 consecutive runner-up finishes at the Masters and 2 signature events. So he's close. And I really believe that Rory, after that Masters taking time off, we saw a rusty Rory last week at Quail Hollow, a golf course that he's won 4 times at. So to answer your question, I hope we have a 1 versus 2 on the final 9 come Sunday. I just don't see it happening. I do believe, though, that Scotty's game is trending, and we've kind of seen him. You know, it's funny to say the number one player is plodding along, but I think he is. He's just kind of plodding along, getting a little bit better each and every week. Took last week off, came early, so I think Scotty's going to be in position. That's why he's the overwhelming favorite. And, oh, by the way, it's funny. Rory takes 3 weeks off, but he's got that private jet, right? So, as he said, he went up to Aronimink at least 10 times during that 3 weeks off. He flew up, played the golf course, flew back home. It's nice to be Rory, right?
Yeah, nice to be a lot of those guys. Speaking of things, Doug, that nobody saw coming, I didn't see it coming. I had a buddy that actually won a lot of money because he placed money back in 2021 on Phil Mickelson to win the PGA Championship. That paid really, really big for him.
Yes,
Any chance that this course sets up where we see somebody in the field that nobody's really looking at right now?
Well, yeah. I because of what we talked about, wide open fairways, you don't have to be an incredibly accurate driver. I think you can hit it a long way and kind of gouge it out of the rough. I don't think the rough is going to be U.S. Open style rough. And I think if you get a hot putter, then I think somebody could pull something off. It's funny. Jordan Spieth, guys, hasn't played well in about 4 years, and still needs the PGA Championship to complete the career Grand Slam. And wouldn't that be a cool story?
Yeah.
But Jordan is a guy, I think this golf course kind of sets up for him. Not as great a putter as he used to be. 10 years ago when he was arguably the top 1 or 2 player in the world, nobody putted like him. Hasn't done that in the last 4 or 5 years. But to answer your question, I think, he's 20 plus 25,000 for Jordan Spieth. I think I might sprinkle a little dust on Jordan.
Yeah.
Maybe pray to the golf gods and see what happens.
Pat's firing in right now.
Absolutely. I love that. You mentioned Cameron Young. This is a guy that seems like he is on the cusp of a major breakthrough this year, of someone that's going to be in the same conversation with obviously a Scheffler or McIlroy. Just your thoughts on Cameron Young and what he's put together so far in this early part of the season.
It's interesting. 1962, the PGA Championship was at Aronimink. Gary Player won, and they had the big 3 then, right? Jack Arney and Gary Player.
Right.
And back then, it was like, wow, the big 3. And right now we have Scotty and Rory, as we've talked about. They're the big 2. Who's the third guy, guys? I mean, who's number 3? Cameron Young is number 3 in the world rankings, hasn't won a major. Now, back in 62, all those guys had won major championships. Cam is knocking on the door. And his statistics, by the way, from last year where he was a good player to now a great player, won the Players and then won the tournament down at Trump National Drow, a signature event. his numbers have jumped dramatically. Iron play from like 150 in the PGA Tour to like top 10. I mean, it's a dramatic increase how much better he's gotten. So, yeah, and again, this course for a guy who hits it as long as he does, he's as long as Rory, as long as he wants to be, really. His iron play has been exceptional. His putter, his statistics have improved in that category. So, yeah, guys, I think, listen, I like to categorize people in certain levels, and to get to that superstar level, you don't just put everybody there, but you have to have a major championship. So I think Cameron Young is knocking on the door. He's close to that elevator, the top floor. He needs to win a major, and I think it could happen. Imagine the year, though, winning the Players,
Yep.
winning that event in Miami, and then winning the PGA Championship, all in a matter of just a couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a heck of a run. He would be. I would say he's a definite superstar if he pulls it off, and he's capable. There's no question about it.
Doug, I'm going to ask you a question. I don't know if you know about this or not. This is from the fan perspective, but I thought it was really cool what they did at Quail Hollow last year with that all-inclusive food, beverage, ticket, that whole thing, that experience that you could buy. Are they offering the same type of thing this year there in Pennsylvania?
Yes, they are, and I'm not sure the price, but yeah. And, and I harken back, I love going on with you guys because, and I talked about the Alabama game in '88. But, and Pat, you remember this, the PGA Championship at Shoal Creek.
Absolutely.
The two that we had.
Mm-hmm.
And that started corporate golf. I mean, that's when Hall Thompson, the late great Hall Thompson, and Bob Barrett, who was his director of golf, said, you know what? I think we can just start marketing this a little bit better and making a gazillion dollars. And now everybody's followed suit. And now, Landry, they're offering these incredible packages, and they're not for everybody. They're pretty expensive, but if you want to come in and really enjoy a major championship, that's the way to do it. It's funny. People ask me, gosh, Doug, what a great job you have, and I do. I mean, the good Lord has blessed me. But once I retire, guys, and I'm not going to retire anytime soon, but people say, hey, would you keep walking these golf courses, watching major championships? I'm like, you know what? I think I might watch it in my living room. So
people are always surprised and respond that way. It's like, no, been doing it for a while. I want to see what it's like.
It's a tough walk, man. I'm telling you, it's a great walk, but golf is one of those sports. It's different than any other sport where you can watch on TV and you see where the ball goes and et cetera, et cetera. In golf, you got to bounce around. So when I'm out covering a group, my guy may not be playing well, and all of a sudden on the other side of the golf course, somebody has 5 straight birdies. It's like, oh, my gosh, Doug, you need to hustle over to the other side of the golf course. I'm like, all right, give me a few minutes. I got to catch my breath, and I'll be over there. So
that 90 PGA Championship, I remember going with my dad, and he had a buddy that was a member out there, so we got the full experience. That's still to this day the most memorable collection of sports memories. I got to meet Payne Stewart. Got to meet Trevino, Nicholas. I mean, you name them. Got to meet them all. Faldo. That collection and for Birmingham to do what we did as a community, and I don't know why we're surprised. We're not now, 40 years later, but the support just really made you proud being from the state of Alabama that we can do it right when hosting these big time events. Sorry, that was just a side note.
Yeah, no. I mean, I remember those like they were yesterday, and I also remember how hot it was.
Yes.
Remember that was the August PGA Championship.
Yes.
It was hot as the humidity in Alabama in August. Oh my goodness.
And that rough was knee high.
Yeah, rough was lose your shoe in the rough. I mean,
Jack Nicklaus was letting somebody have it walking down the fairway.
Yeah, it was something else. All right,
the rough won't be anything like that, Aronimik, believe me. And that's the good thing about the May date, I believe, is the fact the temperature is so nice for the PGA Championship. And in August, it was not only the heat, but they always had lightning delays and rain delays. Mm-hmm. It was always bad weather in August. So I think the May suits the PGA Championship much better.
All right, so I have to ask you, this is the first time that we've had an opportunity to catch up with you since the announcement that obviously the Saudi Arabians are pulling out of LIV. What are you hearing amongst the golfers that you deal with each and every week? Is there going to be a mass exodus, another pipeline for guys coming back to the PGA Tour? Is DeChambeau just going to do YouTube? What are you hearing on that front?
I got tickled when I heard it. Well, I'll play the 4 majors and I'll concentrate on my YouTube channel. I'm like, really? Seriously?
Yeah.
No, live as we know it. It's been around for 4 years. It's dead. And last week they played at President Trump's course there in Potomac, Maryland. And I thought that might be the last tournament of the year. From what I'm told, they will finish out the season. I think they have 6 more tournaments. They're talking about maybe having some sponsors internationally. But live as we know it now with the current players, where they have a stroke play event followed by a team deal, I don't think that'll go forward unless they're absorbed by the DP World Tour, the European Tour. I do think they're trying to salvage this team deal where you have team tournaments, and I'm just not sure that's viable or not. Live's going away. It was dying a slow death, but I believe it's dead. And they're just kind of playing out the string. They have no money, guys. It's unbelievable. As for the players, John Rahm has said, listen, I'm stuck with my contract, can't go anywhere. Okay, his agent told him to say that. DeChambeau's the last year of his contract. Obviously wants an easy path back to the PGA Tour. Doesn't want to play or pay all the money that Koepka paid. So it remains to be seen whether it'll be an easy trek back for Bryson or not. Some of the other guys, Joaquin Niemann, Cam Smith, these guys, yeah, the PGA Tour would love to have them back. But then the guys who have exhausted their viability, Lee Westwood, Ian Poulter, Graham McDowell, guys like that, Louis Oosthuizen, they probably will retire, guys, and we probably won't hear from them again unless they play select events over in Europe. So I think maybe 12 to 15 guys will be given a path back. They're going to have to earn their way back on the PGA Tour, and I think it could happen as early as 2027. I don't think they'll be given a free pass, but I think they're going to have to maybe, Koepka had to pay a $5 million fee to a charity, and then on top of that, give up 10 years of his retirement from the PGA Tour. That's pretty steep.
Very steep, yeah.
Make him play to get back in, Doug. Let's do a made-for-TV event. Seriously.
Now, that would actually be pretty cool. I haven't heard that idea. What a good idea, Landon.
Pitch that today in the media room with the with the higher brow folk.
Yeah.
Every time I'm on with you guys, Landon, you throw me like a knuckle curve, we'll call it.
We try it. Yeah, circle change. That's what Glavin threw.
Circle change. There you go. Yeah, I forgot about the circle change.
How's the food there? They don't have pimento cheese and egg salad, I bet.
No, we'll get that Philly steak and cheese.
Oh.
Come on, guys.
Yeah.
I've always had like 5 or 6 of those already.
But you walk so much, you used to get those calories.
Doug, I'll remind you, it's bathing suit season. Careful.
People said, "Hey, aren't you eating too much?" I'm like, guys, come on now. You never eat too much when you're in a town like Philadelphia, right?
I walk 50,000 steps a day. I'm fine.
Yeah, you're good.
Well, people ask me how many steps. I'm like, are you kidding? I do so many steps, I don't count them. I just keep walking.
That's good
all.
for you.
Change shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
when your watch gives up. That is Doug Bell. Doug, we always appreciate you taking time. Thank you so much. It's more than just golf with you. It's a visit with an old friend.
No, listen, I love you guys. And whenever I'm in town, I'll listen. And you guys do make me laugh. The whole team, by the way, you guys have great rapport. So keep up the great work.
Well, thank you, Doug. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Enjoy
Doug.
Philadelphia. We'll talk to you at the next major.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Man,
Doug Bell.
it's always fun with Doug.
And he's so good. And he has the best job.
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah. Joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline, you deserve solutions that are built for you. Higginbotham's your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services.
So as these spring storms have hit a pause button for at least for a few more days, right? Your foundation and waterproofing specialist, Deep South Construction Pros, I want to remind everybody that if you've witnessed and experienced some issues around your home, and I'm talking about whether you've got moisture problems, whether you got foundation issues, you're seeing some cracks of your foundation or on your sidewalks, whatever the case may be, well, guess what? Your foundation and waterproofing specialist is Deep South Construction Pros. Foundation repair and waterproofing, that's the backbone of what they do, from cracks and wood damage to crawl space, moisture, and mold. Their trained crews fix the problem at the source. The owners are proud Alabama locals who still call this place home, and they're committed to serving families across Alabama and Tennessee. And the Deep South reputation means everything. So get started today with Deep South Construction Pros. Simply go to their website, and you can get in touch with them there, deepsouthconstructionpros.com. Deep South Construction Pros, if it's your home, it's their commitment, because if it's your home, it matters to them. deepsouthconstructionpros.com.
More college football news that you need to know. We're going to tell you what it is next. So glad that all of you enjoy Doug Bell and his visits as much as we do. Doug joining us from Newtown Square, Pennsylvania, the site of this year's PGA Championship, Aronimink Golf Club. Beautiful. Have you seen it, Conrad? The cluster of bunkers with the overhead drone shots. It is gorgeous. A Donald Ross course, who also designed Birmingham Country Club, I believe East and West.
Okay.
Mountain Brook Club, maybe Mobile Country Club. But
Sure.
It's a Donald Ross course. You can see some of the characteristics of a Donald Ross course. But beautiful, and it's always a great visit with Doug. If you want to find that, you can go to jocksfm.com on the 3-Man Front podcast. Don't let the AC drift out of your house this summer. That's money that you're losing. You don't have to lose it, and it's a simple solution. Get new windows and doors through EcoView Windows and Doors. It's a national company, but it's locally owned, and she is an absolute sweetheart. It's the owner, Becky Jackson, her husband, and her son. They're a part of the EcoView team here in the state of Alabama. They can do low-cost windows, but they can also do the glamorous and anything in between. They got a pledge to save you at least 35% on your heating and cooling in the first 12 months of installation when you replace all the windows and doors. And I've seen it firsthand. A lot of times they can take out all of your windows, replace them with the windows that you want, custom, all in one day. Can't beat that. They're offering all Jocks listeners free estimates. All you have to do is call 205-564-8480. 205-564-8480, or you can schedule or go to ecoviewwindows.com. Becky Jackson, wonderful family, great people. Just at the very least, if you're interested in getting new windows and doors, check these folks out. I think you're going to be glad you did. It's ecoviewwindows.com. Always tell them Landrum from Jock sent you.
So the Braves get a big win last night as they started a 3-game series with the first-place Chicago Cubs out of the National League Central. 5-2 win for the Braves. Grant Holmes combined with 3 relievers on a one-hitter. How about that? Big time. Austin Riley, Mike Yastrzemski homered. Yaz had 3 RBIs. Dominic Smith, man, what a pickup for the Braves. I mean, it has paid off for them big time. He went 4 for 4. He's hitting .363. I mean, since that grand slam, like at the beginning of the first week of the season, man, he is just.
And he can hit it to all parts of the field. He's just a really good hitter. I didn't know, Pat, because you would remember this stuff more than me, but he was a highly sought-after prospect in the Mets organization.
He was, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Sure was. That was a great pickup.
It was.
But he's hitting .363. That's impressive. For the game, if you missed it, just a touching moment. The Braves honored Hall of Fame manager Bobby Cox and former owner Ted Turner in the first home game since both men died. They played the bagpipes. Amazing Grace.
Yeah.
And that will get me every time.
Yep.
That was really, really a nice moment. And
those bagpipe players were there for one of the games that we went to that they did the national anthem. But you're right. That was very touching tribute.
It was very nice. Had a moment of silence for both individuals. Tonight, Atlanta rookie J.R. Ritchie, 1-0, 3.63 ERA. He will make his 4th start of his career. He will go up against Shota Imanaga, who is 4-2 for Chicago with a 2.28 ERA. So another really good pitching matchup tonight. And the long national nightmare of the Yankees losing streak came to an end last night in Baltimore, Maryland. As the nation now just absolutely does back handsprings because the Yankees are back in the win column.
Yeah, my dad, the big Orioles fan, was very excited that they got 1. So I told him we'll try to give them a couple, but I guess they didn't listen last night, and they decided to win a baseball game.
Well, that's good that they started winning again because, the Rays have won 16 of their last 18.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, what's going on there?
They're playing good baseball.
They are playing very well.
How many World Series have they won?
That would be 0.
Yeah.
Same amount of playoff games that Lane Kiffin has won.
Yeah.
Good correlation.
Same national championship Steve Sarkisian has won at Texas.
There you go, Sark. Come on.
And what will all 3 of those things have in common? They'll all be in Tampa in July.
Yes, for media days.
Looky there.
And if you're paying
Go catch a game.
attention to the National League standings, we all know that the Braves have the best record in the National League at 29-13. The Cubs have the second best record. Do you realize that as of today, there are 5 teams in the National League that have better records than the Los Angeles Dodgers? 5.
They're on cruise control. Bro.
Crumbling.
Would you like to take a guess on the 5 without looking?
Ooh, did the
I
Padres have a better
I gave you
record
the
now?
Braves and the Cubs.
Padres?
Padres is one.
So there's two more. Do y'all have a better record than the Dodgers?
We do.
They do.
And then the Brewers.
Correct. Braves, Cubs, Brewers, Padres, Cardinals all have better records than the, $370-something million payroll for the Los Angeles Dodgers? I might have inflated that by like $100 million.
But the,
No, I think it was more than
Dodgers have
that.
a better record than all but 2 American League teams.
Yeah.
Correct.
You guys are trash over there.
Hey, don't look at me.
Oh, I forgot Molly. Molly's a Tigers fan, but
What'd you say for the payroll?
370.
Would you like to take a guess at what the payroll is?
Is it $500 million?
Would you like to take a guess?
for who?
Dodgers.
For the Dodgers?
For this year, right now.
$600 million.
$417 million.
I said 370, so I was off a little bit.
Their total expenditure for the season is estimated to be at $575 million.
Well, it would have been, but deferred. You gotta send the guy in prison the money, the parents the money to show honor.
Hey, Shohei hit a home run last night.
He sure
That's
did.
good.
Yeah.
It's been
But they lost to the Tony Vitello
Hey,
San Francisco Giants.
just stop there. Let's circle up here
Stop.
and not do what they were doing. But
Did you?
No.
we have to address this.
No,
You
we're-
did.
we have to
you
address
saw
it.
that?
Yes. What is that?
Apparently, they've already been told not to ever do that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they
So
were
you see the
told.
new thing they're doing?
Major League, yeah, Major League Baseball said don't do that.
Did
Well,
the
when
did the SEC tell Texas A&M not to
Yeah.
do stuff in the dugout?
And why is that going on? I don't want to see that either.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I forgot about that.
Hold me, Richard. No, I don't want to see that. But
That's
what
the new
were the
Heimlich maneuver.
Giants
They
doing?
updated the methods.
So they're just practicing in between innings?
Correct.
Yeah.
What I don't know what they're doing out there.
Well, my wife's the one who pointed it out to me.
Well, I mean,
And she's like, "Is this a thing?" I said, "No, it's not a thing."
you know, they're
She was trying to paint with a wide brush, like all former baseball player. Like we used to do this in our park.
I
league.
can
We
promise you
never
that-
did that.
no.
No.
No, and no.
No.
What city are the Giants in?
For those of you who have not seen it, and I don't know if they've taken it all down, they would circle up at the end of the game. A few of was that just
I think it
outfielders?
was the outfielders, yeah, and congratulate each other.
No, they wouldn't congratulate each other. They make pelvic thrusts towards each other. Everybody is pelvic thrusting towards the center of the circle.
But it's like into each other, like they're
Yes!
they're like making contact.
And then Tony Vitello's just saying, yeah, they're all really close.
All right, guys, cup check. You think that's what's going on?
I'm glad Harrison Bader's not a Cardinal anymore.
Oh, is he in the group?
Yeah, he's a center fielder.
Is this the culture that was brought from Knoxville? That's what I want to know. Or was it this just, well, you know what, Knoxville, I'm not going to do that.
So you
to
got
y'all.
Gilbert.
This definitely originated
you
in
got
San Francisco.
Gilbert, J.H. Lee, and Harrison Bader. They're the three individuals that.
So, because I saw this on, what was yesterday? Monday night after they beat the Dodgers is when that video was from. Have they been doing that all year?
I don't know.
That was the only time I've seen.
Don't need to see it again.
People are texting in. Should we send it out on the 3-man front Twitter? Because we got a lot of people texting.
Yes.
I think the
you
three
need to
of-
send it in, and if you see this going on at a local ball field, I think it's your responsibility as just an American to go out there and stop it.
Well, I can just tell you right now, this would not be allowed at your local ballpark.
No,
There
Not here.
would be arrests.
no, you would have to play in some other kind of league. It would have to be a very do what you want league.
Fun video idea. We can recreate it in the break.
That's a big no.
No, we will find you 3 other willing males.
I think you should you
Nope.
should recreate it at Social Taco.
I'm not.
Or go to your
I'm
favorite
busy.
burger place where you meet your air quotes
friends.
buddies.
They definitely wouldn't like that there. I do not think they would like that there.
Mm.
Come on, guys, one time.
Yeah, we will put this out on because a lot of you are texting in and saying, "Hey, what are y'all talking about?" They have not because a lot of people. It happened on the West Coast. A lot of
Yeah,
people,
you're not going to see it.
Yeah, a lot of people.
It's a very
are not staying up that late to see post-game celebrations between the Giants and the Dodgers.
Had you seen it before I sent it to you?
No.
Because, see, I saw it for the first time this morning, and then I
No,
went back and was like, oh, is this something they've been
Every
doing? And it was
every
from
dad
Monday.
I know that his kid plays baseball, if they were doing that, the dad would go and jerk him off the field. Like, what are you doing? Stop it. I finished it. With field. Period.
That's a good coincidence there.
They would remove them from the field.
There we go.
Yes.
Who knows what they do in the clubhouse after the game, Landrum? You never
It's up to them.
You never know.
But if I paid money to buy a ticket, I don't want to witness that. I mean, the Braves outfielders get together and do like a little drumline thing. That's fine. That's harmless.
Well, I was about to say, most teams have some sort of the outfielders after a win. They'll get, they'll do some.
But after a game, a post-game
Handshake.
celebration, your post-game celebration is a sword fight with your teammates? No.
Molly has
Lock it
Did you
down,
find it, Molly?
Manfred.
Yeah, she's posting it.
Okay.
So that's the best way to put it. Is it not?
Yeah, no, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's exactly what it is.
When we come back on Three Man Front, we'll give you an
Sportsmanship, pass it
update on the 24-team potential college football playoff expansion. Top of the hour, Tim Brando, Fox Sports. He'll join the program and the conversation. Phone calls are coming in, 1-800-239-WJOX. That's top of the hour. Timmy B. Tim Brando will join the program from Fox Sports. He will have a lot to say about Lane Kiffin, his comments, Steve Sarkisian. Timmy B, interesting situation because he is from the state of Louisiana, lives in Shreveport. I believe one daughter went to the University of Mississippi and one went to LSU. So it's very interesting what he'll have to say at the top of the hour about the ongoing storylines in college football, along with the potential college football playoff expansion. The ACC had their spring meetings wrap up outside of Jacksonville, Florida today. And no surprise here, it was unanimous amongst the coaches and the athletic directors. They are all in on a 24-team field for the college football playoff. They want it to expand. It's very interesting because now, Landrum, every power conference other than the SEC now publicly supports a 24-team CFP. SEC meetings in 2 weeks. That's going to be huge. This is a direct quote from Jim Phillips, the commissioner of the ACC. He says, we'll see what comes out of the SEC meetings and Big Ten meetings and Big 12 meetings. He went on to say that he said conversations with the SEC's Greg Sankey have been very collaborative and positive. So that's coming from Jim Phillips in regards to talking to Greg Sankey about the college football playoff. Little disclaimer, just that we're all on the same page. It's okay what the ACC says or the Big 12, but they have absolutely zero power on what happens with the college football playoff expansion. Like you can have your preference, but it's the equivalent of me walking out into the ocean and taking a leak. It's not going to do much to raise the ocean levels. Same thing with the ACC and the Big 12 saying that they want something. At the end of the day, it's what the SEC and the Big Ten wants, period.
When do we get finality? When do we potentially everybody come to terms with this?
I mean, you got to make a decision by December 1st in regards to what's going to happen in 2027, just like we were last year. And then they decided, we're going to stay at 12. But the difference now is that you've got the Big Ten and you've got other people that have been, very outgoing in what they want. Seems like they're trying to put a little bit more pressure on the SEC to kind of come into the fold.
I understand there's a lot of different factors that go into this, but it seems like 24 to me, it's and it never has been, seemed like that big of a jump when we talk about it, kind of like the NCAA basketball tournament and expansion of teams. I think the way that we look at it, it will eventually look that way. Just maybe not for the first couple of rounds.
Well, and I guess the other part of it, too, is let's say you just go to 16. Okay, well, then what, in 2 years are we going to go to 24 teams? Because if you go to 24, I'm sure at some point they're going to want to continue to expand this thing, but it feels like that is more of a, we can sit with this for a while, as opposed to you go to 16, then the conversation is just going to move to, well, when are we moving to 24 teams because it feels inevitable.
Especially with the transfer portal and the amount of money that's being paid through NIL. With the amount of parity that we have across college football, why would you not have more teams?
ESPN pays $1.3 billion a year for the rights to every single game in the college football playoff. $1.3 billion. And that contract runs through the 2031-32 season.
Okay.
Then the question is, if you increase it, you double the field based on what ESPN's paying now. I suppose there's a live window look in on the contract where if you expand it, because ESPN would have to agree to pay
whatever. Are you going to double the field? Is it you go 50%?
That's what I'm saying. At that point in time, does that become?
They're going to need some partners to put in.
So
they don't want to foot the bill for that, is what it is.
Well, okay, and so that's where I guess my thing would be: would the money come up front from ESPN, and then that's when Fox and the other people that want a piece of the pie, they would then just pay back to ESPN for, hey, we're going to take 4 of the games of the or whatever,
Is this one of those times though? Is this one of those times where ESPN says, "Golly, I really wish we hadn't sunk all that money into that," because I know that they've been slowly trying to trim some of the fat.
Yeah, well, here's the interesting part, and this was announced today at the ACC meetings. So the CW and ESPN have reached a deal to sublicense 54 football and basketball games per season through 2030-2031. 2031. So every year, 54 football and basketball games are going to be subleased by ESPN to the CW. Jim Phillips also was talking about the Duke Amazon deal. He says, I'm not worried about it. ESPN was in every one of those conversations. To Duke's credit, they came up with something creative. I'm happy for Duke. It's additional dollars. I think it's innovative by Duke. But the big thing for me is him saying that ESPN was involved in every single conversation. So ESPN had to bless it for it to go to Amazon. So ESPN owns all these properties, but then ESPN is saying, you know what? We can send this out to Amazon, and Amazon's going to do us a solid somewhere, whether it's monetarily or they're going to horse trade something. Same thing's happening now with the CW. And now I think the CW thing's just straight out cash.
We don't have to go out and sell it to a bunch of different advertisers. We can take somebody who has deep pockets and we can make a pretty penny on it.
It's turnkey.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty easy in regards to what they're doing. So very interesting to say the very least. When we come back, we'll get to your text messages. A lot of them are coming in, 205-834-9450. So you get your iPhone out. You need to go to your iCal. Put this in your calendar. Saturday, September 5th, 11 a.m. kickoff in Tuscaloosa. East Carolina takes on Alabama. That will be on ABC television. Right after that game, from Atlanta, Georgia, Baylor and the Auburn Tigers. That's a 2:30 kickoff. The Tigers are playing in Atlanta for the first time since 2018. They're making their fourth appearance in the Aflac kickoff game. They played in 2012, 2015, 2018. The contest will mark the sixth all-time meeting between Auburn and Baylor, following the Tigers' 38-24 victory in Waco last year on August the 31st. And if those two games weren't enough to whet the old appetite for that weekend as college football gets kicked off, how about Clemson and LSU? That's a 6:30 kickoff, prime time from the Bayou, the Battle of Death Valley.
Do we get a fun story from Dabo talking about going into Brian Kelly's store and thinking he was the singer, not the coach? Remember that leading up last year?
I do remember that.
Not as much anticipation for this one.
No, it probably will have terrible ratings.
Because that was the game that we all pointed to lead us off in the college football season.
I was being tongue-in-cheek there. There will be so much drama around that game. Game Day is going to be there. I think it's Game Day's 500th episode.
Woo!
I think I read that somewhere. Isn't that crazy? 500th episode will be in Death Valley. And Nick Saban will be there at Death Valley. Will he be wearing a LSU polo? Because I know he's still being paid by Alabama, but he helped Lane get the job.
Is he still heading up new hire orientations there on campus?
I was just saying it's going to be a busy day for him because he's going to have to be in Tuscaloosa early in the morning. He's going to have to do game day, then fly to Tuscaloosa, and then fly back for the LSU Clemson game.
So you really think him and Miss Terry are going to be in the box watching East Carolina and Alabama?
Yeah, I mean, it'll probably be what, Alabama 3.5-point favorite in that one?
I was thinking
maybe.
I was thinking pick 'em.
Pick 'em?
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems to be the expectation for this upcoming season.
Is Crowell back yet?
Close.
So close.
So close.
He's going to be great.
So I just told you what was going on that Saturday. The very next day on Sunday, you will have Louisville taking on Pete Golding and the Ole Miss Rebels. That will be played in Nashville, Tennessee. That's on Sunday. And then you wrap up the Labor Day weekend on Monday night as the Southern Methodist Fighting Rhett Lashleys taking on Florida State. What? You don't like that?
No.
You don't?
I don't.
Oh, okay. I do. I think it'll be pretty fun.
We've had Florida State in that game.
They're like really good in season openers.
I like the I know that SMU made a college football playoff a couple years ago. Still talking about SMU. Just more of a marquee matchup. Didn't we get Notre Dame, Florida State to start the year? We got it in that game one year.
So it was funny seeing all the Ohio State people go crazy because when ABC announced the Texas-Ohio State game is going to be a primetime game on ABC television.
Yeah, they don't have to play at 11 a.m.
They played the Texas-Ohio State game at 11 a.m. last year, and how Ohio State fans are just like, what in the world? Like, we have the best team in the world, the best program in all of college football, and we're relegated to 11 a.m. kickoffs. Like, what in the world? Well, here's the difference. The SEC values primetime matchups. The Big Ten doesn't. Because for a long time, Big Ten stadiums, half of them didn't even have lights.
No.
Fox doesn't want to go head-to-head against the SEC at night. They lose. I mean, I've got all the data that you want to show you that primetime games against the SEC, that is no contest. The SEC will wipe the floor with any opposition when it comes to that. So that's why they go, big noon kickoff. That's why they stick all those games there. So, but it was funny on social media just seeing them go crazy about, imagine that. A game of that magnitude being played in prime time. Why wasn't that game played in prime time last year in Columbus?
I'm glad we're getting Ole Miss and LSU in prime time.
Yep, that is going to happen on Saturday, September the 19th. That's already been announced. So, yeah, and then, of course, the weekend around Thanksgiving, you're going to have Mississippi State and Ole Miss. That will be a Friday game. That's a Black Friday game. That will be a noon kickoff. And then you'll have Florida and Florida State That will be on right after that, and then you're going to end the night as Texas and Texas A&M.
Norvell's last stand.
Mm-hmm.
Think he'll still be there?
I don't know.
Maybe not.
Might be watching that one from home.
I don't know. How does that contract read? Is it like one of those December 1? Do you January 1s? This is what the buyout is.
It's a good question. We might be bringing that up in late September, early October, depending on how that season goes.
But that's a great Black Friday, starting the day with the Egg Bowl, and then you go to the wonderful friendly rivalry between Florida and Florida State, and then you end it with the battle in Texas.
I like it. No, I'm just nothing against FSU and SMU. It's just
Seems like you really hate them.
it's just Monday night. Want a little more sizzle.
No, I understand.
Was it
It's like, oh, this great weekend, and then, yeah.
Was it one of the games last year we got on that Monday night? Wasn't it TCU and Belichick?
I think it was.
Was that Monday?
It was a standalone game, and it was such a bleh. That was bad.
They're going to be better this year, Pat.
TCU? Yeah, that's what I hear.
That was September 1st, and TCU won that game 48-14.
Yeah.
But Jordan looked so spectacular.
She did in the Carolina Blue, sitting in the private box.
She looked like a coach's wife.
Yeah, Belichick didn't seem to have as much attention on him at the meetings past couple days.
No, he didn't. I hate that for him.
But
Coming
do
up-
you really?
I really don't care.
He certainly doesn't hate it.
Coming up
Belichick loves
next,
it.
Fox Sports' Tim Brando joins the program. A myriad of topics around college football. That's next.